All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Happy Monday, May the 16th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. Can you all hear me okay? Is it just my headphones? Okay, we should be good. Appreciate you all tuning in. Here we go. We're rocking. We're rolling here on the Daily Crow. I see Brendan, Travie, Cody, John, Edward, Kruger. John, put the Edward in your freaking username, my guy. I don't want to have to keep remembering that. Andrew, the textbook. What's going on? Appreciate it. Yep, looks like we're good audio-wise. Again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Very, very excited to chat with each and every single one of you. We are here again, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Of course, I am Chris Phillips, your host of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. I am pumped. I'm excited. It's a brand new week here on the Daily Crow. What's going on, guys? We've already had a big-time morning, had a little bit of a business meeting, if you will, a little business lunch we were just at. So, feeling good. We're rocking, we're rolling here on this Monday. Andrew, the textbook says not a bad weekend, but a sweep was desperately needed. Yeah, we'll get in all that much more, guys. If you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, by the way, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, to be sure your questions are answered there. I'm just playing with some mic stuff, sorry. We're playing, yeah, there we go. That sounds a little bit better. I don't know if that sounds better on you guys, but it definitely sounds better in my headphones. My guy, Cody Gaskins, again. Travie, what's going on? Travis Lee says, looking for a new softball and baseball coach yet. Chris Miller, 2022 baseball team trying to go exactly 500. Yeah, as we sit now 26-24 overall, 12-14. Or no, excuse me, 12-15 in SEC play. DGD, what's up, my man? What's up, DGD? You came for more, I see. Rebecca already owned you over the weekend or owned you on Friday, and you come back for more, I see. Jackie Waldrop says, looking good for a Monday. Jackie, does that mean I'm normally looking bad on a Monday? I appreciate either way, Jackie, but thank you so much again for tuning in to Love and Sport. And I do want to hear from you all, your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. Again, that's 843-790-3377. Final week, by the way, of the regular season for Gamecocks baseball. Time flies when you're having fun, and I guess that's certainly, I don't know if I'd call it quite fun, what we've been doing this season. But either way, we are, I'm excited to go into the final week of the season. It's crazy how it flies by, and had a great time, by the way, this past weekend with you all at Founders Park and taking in the series that was against Kentucky, and looking forward to tomorrow night. And then, of course, Thursday through Saturday, South Carolina baseball will take on the Florida Gators in Gainesville to close things out. But either way, your reactions, your thoughts. Podcast did drop this morning, guys. Episode 649, a full breakdown of what happened over the weekend as the Gamecocks do take 2 of 3 from Kentucky. And what's so interesting is, though, that, it feels like we should be happy because, we took 2 of 3. We won a series. But at the same time, and I hope you guys didn't listen to this podcast this morning and think of me as, I was being Debbie Downer or being negative, but I was just being realistic of the fact that just because you took 2 or 3 from Kentucky, it doesn't fix anything. It doesn't fix anything in regards to the overall scope of the season. It really doesn't fix anything when it comes to that. You took 2 of 3 from a Kentucky team I'd argue is probably more inconsistent than you are. And, you're glad you're on the right side of it, for sure. You're glad you're on the right side of it. But, losing yesterday was tough. Losing yesterday in a game where you feel like you had your foot on Kentucky's throat and you just weren't able to capitalize and, finish them off. Finish it with your arguably best pitcher on the bump. I know Noah Hall, please put respect on his name. He's been your best guy throughout SEC play, but I think we'd all sit here and say that, Will Sanders is the best pitcher that you have. And so for you to not be able to get the job done yesterday is tough. It's tough to stomach. Obviously did not swing it nearly well enough to have any chance in that ball game, but it is what it is. Let's see. Savannah Webster says, I'm ready for the season to be over. And Savannah, I'll tell you this. On one hand, I definitely hear what you're saying. I mean, I talked to some people over the weekend and said, hey, it's mercifully coming to an end, right? The season is mercifully coming to an end. At the same time, though, I'll say this, like, I will savor every second of tomorrow night because I will be there in attendance. I will savor every single second of tomorrow night because you know what? No matter how good or bad a season is, we're going to hit a time this summer, probably going to happen multiple times for me at least, where I'm going to say, man, God, I'd love to be at the yard one more time. I really would. I'd love to be chilling at the ball field one more time. You don't know what you have till it's gone. And we're going to hit June, July, and August with no Gamecocks athletics, with no games whatsoever. Yes, we're going to be talking a lot of football. That's a given. But, you know, I'll be like, man, I'd give anything to have one more day at the yard. And I tell you what yesterday, I just, you know, that Saturday game, I talked about this on the podcast, but that Saturday game, the noon first pitch, right? With the warm weather, I sat there and kind of closed my eyes, and it just took me back to last year, the noon first pitch we had against Virginia in the regional. And it just made me think how much of a damn shame it is that we're not going to have postseason baseball, not just in Columbia, but period. You know what I mean? Panic Ritter says, I hope tomorrow someone takes the biggest shit on Kingston's face and some of these loser senior pitchers. You know, Panic Ritter, normally I laugh at, and that is a funny comment, but normally, Panic Ritter, I laugh at and kind of look over your comments. Panic Ritter, none of us are happy with how the season's going, but we did just win 2 of 3. So, I mean, just give it a rest, my guy. Give it a rest with the dumbass comments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, granted, it's funny. But I think you got to dial it back one small notch. I mean, we did win 2 of 3. We did. Austin Greer, Gamecock baseball season is dying a slow death, going down but fighting on their way. Well, you know, Austin, here's the shame of it. Because you look at the SEC standings. South Carolina's 12-15, right? Vanderbilt is only 2 games better than you, right? What are they, 14-13? They're only 2 games better than you in conference play. So you think to yourself, like, how can Vandy be ranked in the top 20? How can Vandy be a no-brainer postseason team? And they're only 2 games better in conference play. Like, there's a chance, I think it's slim, there's a chance that South Carolina could still finish ahead of Vanderbilt. But you know what the difference is? You look at Vandy's overall record, and they've won like 34 games. It's just such a shame when you think about this season and you look back on it. It's such a shame that this season really could have been something if we were able to beat teams like Xavier, the Citadel, Presbyterian, USC Upstate, taking 1 game from Clemson. Guys, you do those things, you're at 31 wins. I'm not saying taking 2 of 3 from some elite level team. Like, just winning the games that you feel like on paper at least, you should win. You know, like, it's a shame when you think about it that way. Like, and I know some people will use excuses and the injuries and stuff like that, but guys, I posted the stat this morning. On social media across all channels, right? Since 1974, Gamecocks baseball has won less than 30 overall games in a season, just twice, not counting the 2020 COVID-shortened season. South Carolina currently going in the last week, the final week of the regular season, sits at 26-24 overall, 12-15 in SEC play, with just 4 regular season games to play. Twice, guys. Only twice since 1974. We've been a good program for a long time. Twice that's happened. And if it happens this year, because I'll go ahead and throw this bold prediction out there, guys. I don't think you're going 4-0 this week. I just don't see it. I don't think you're going 4-0 this week. All right, let's jump to the phone lines and I'll get back to that.
Call from
Phil Harris.
Phil, what's up, man? How are you?
Pretty good, my brother. How you doing?
I am doing well, my friend. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
75 and sunny here in beautiful Manchester, New Hampshire. Weather's really good right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, I know I sent you the weather for Columbia, and I think Savannah Webster commented earlier that summer's right around the corner. No, that's incorrect. Summer's here. Summer's here. It's a high of 97 on Thursday. Summer's here.
It's insane. Yeah, I would just literally melt into a puddle.
Bro, I have the pool yet again for this summer, my guy. The backyard blow up pool. So we're Gucci. I'm looking forward to it, my guy.
Fantastic. That's great. I wanted to call in and say, first and foremost, I've said some wacky shit on this show before. So in one respect, I feel a little bad. But at the same time, Panic Ritter, man, like these are Carolina Gamecocks that you're insulting. You know what I'm saying? Like these are our players, man. And it's not like we're talking about Clemson players, something like that. This is collegiate sports. I know NIL exists, but these guys are here on scholarship. They're our players, you know. So to throw that kind of stuff out there is just really, you're out of bounds on that, my friend.
Maybe we should start a new segment. We'll start a new segment, inbounds and out of bounds. Ritter, out of bounds today.
Yeah, out of bounds for sure.
Out of bounds.
Second thing I wanted to mention is just give an update on the USA Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship that was over the weekend for Carolina Rugby. Yeah. First day, they did fantastic. They had to play 3 teams in their individual pool that they were in. They beat all 3, including Florida, which was awesome. So they were going into the quarterfinals on Sunday with a chance. If they won 3 games, they'd win a national championship at Carolina. Unfortunately, Harvard said, no, that's not what's going to happen. Harvard, by the way, is the oldest rugby club, regardless of collegiate or whatever, men's, women's. They're the oldest club in America, 150 years old this year. So congratulations to Harvard Rugby for that achievement. By the way, they beat Carolina in an upset, I would say, unfortunately. Thankfully, Clemson also lost. They did not win a trophy as well. Just wanted to give an update. You know, I'm proud of the boys. Won 3 games, lost 1 of them. They weren't able to advance beyond the quarterfinals, but that's still very impressive. Now, in 2 weeks' time, over Labor Day weekend, they're going to be in New Orleans playing for another national championship. I understand it's very confusing, but this one has a little bit more prestige behind it. It's called the CRCs. And Carolina has had a very good record of making this tournament and actually winning some hardware, beating Clemson in Philadelphia a couple years back for a trophy. So hopefully we'll be able to show well on that one as well. I believe it's also going to be on CBS Sports Network, and I'll keep you guys updated about that as the time gets closer to that.
Beautiful. Love it. Yeah, I did. I know you texted me about that. I did see over the weekend, the Harvard result. But, we're definitely proud of rugby, my man. And I joked with you, but actually serious. Whoever's in charge of club sports at Carolina, man, club sports and women's basketball, carrying it right now. They're carrying us. So.
Absolutely. Congratulations for lacrosse for winning the national championship. I believe it's back-to-back. Is that right?
Yeah, because they didn't have a tournament last year. So, I mean, we're not going to deem it. Right, I think BYU won it by default. There's the rankings, but that's no way to deem a champion. So,
right. Also, Cock hockey going to nationals. I think finishing 4th in that tournament.
Yeah.
So shout out to club sports, absolutely killing it right now and keeping hopes alive and carrying the banner for Gamecock athletics in general. That's all I got for you. Go Cock.
Appreciate it, Phil. Thanks so much, my man.
Bye.
Great stuff. Rugby doing big things. Actually, you know what's funny? I forgot to tell Phil this also. So after the game yesterday, I went to the pool, just kind of stopped by, whatever. Shout out Canal Side. Really dope pool. Stopped by there, and there was a guy at the pool that apparently was familiar with my show and said he played rugby. So really, really cool stuff. You just never know, man. It's a small world. You never know. Let's see. Let me get back to your questions, guys. We got a couple of texts here. Somebody texted in, hey, Chris, thoughts on the defense this year as well as the offense? I'm assuming you're talking football. Offense, I think, much improved, obviously, with Rattler and the additions in regards to your weapons on the outside and just all over the offense. Big questions, the offensive line. Offense, much improved. Defense, I think, will be probably same as last year. Again, my number one question right now is, can you get the ball off of people at the rate that you did last year? If you can do that, I think you're going to have a phenomenal defense. I think either way, though, I trust Clayton White. Excuse me. I trust Clayton White, trust Torian Gray. I think the defense will be solid. Justin texts in, Chris, has Ray Tanner made any good hires yet? Well, we don't know about Lamont Paris, and Shane Beamer's working out pretty well thus far. And I know Tanner wasn't the sole guy that picked Shane Beamer. I know he wasn't, but, I think that's the number one question people seem to have is, okay, you want to get rid of Kingston. Do people trust Tanner to make the next hire? That's the big question. Luke RJ says, does the team not hit as well when Sanders is on the mound? Maybe it's a team confidence thing. I feel like we've played better ball, actually, when Sanders was on the bump. Yesterday, I think, being more of the exception, not the rule. We've had some good Sunday performances, so I don't think you can look at it and say, well, we just never play good behind him. I think we've played pretty solid on some Sundays this year, no question. Justin Langford going to be 95 Thursday in Batesburg. Yeah, it's going to be warm, my guy. I got the air blowing right now. This time of year, that power bill jumps, doesn't it? Tyler Gay, what's going on, my guy? Gamecock Fanatic says, with the series win against Florida, do we need to win the SEC tournament or win a certain amount of games for NCAA tournament? And yeah, so that's where the attention Gamecock Fanatic turns, right? 26-24, 12-15 in conference. What must South Carolina do to have even, I think, like any sort of thought of postseason play? And I know, I said earlier in the season, and many of you brought it up, Chris, you get to 15-15, if you can somehow sweep Florida, you're in. It's not necessarily the case this year, guys. Number one, 73% of teams that finish 15-15 in conference play since they started keeping track of these things and since like 1999, whenever, 73% of teams get in, right? So it's not a guarantee you go 15-15 get in. And I think with South Carolina, we could sweep Florida this weekend. Finish 15-15. You go one and done in Hoover, you're out. Flat out, you're out. I think the Gamecocks have got to beat Charlotte tomorrow. They've got to sweep Florida. And I think you've probably got to make it to the championship game of the SEC tournament to have even a chance, to have even a slight chance. So with all that being said, what are the odds? Pretty small. Pretty small, my guy. So, listen, it sucks because we all want postseason baseball, but unfortunately, your resume is what it is. You shouldn't have lost to Xavier. You shouldn't have lost to Citadel. You shouldn't have lost to PC. You shouldn't have lost to USC Upstate. You shouldn't have got swept by Clemson. You shouldn't have lost to UNCG. I mean, I can go as far back as that. So, you've dug your own grave this season. You got nobody to blame but yourself. Ryan Wright says, I just have a feeling Kingston's going to turn into a Frank Martin career. Wins just enough and always claims next year's class is going to be the game changer. Ryan, what about this season would you say he's won enough? I don't see that at all, my guy. I don't see that at all, my friend. I get what you're saying, but here's the reason that Frank Martin got away with that in basketball is because basketball doesn't have expectations. We don't have standards of winning, Ryan, in basketball. Am I wrong? We don't. Baseball, we do. We do. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this on the Kingston thing, okay? I'll tell you this on the Mark Kingston thing. We are hypocrites. We are hypocrites if we do not pull the trigger on Mark Kingston after this season. Because Chad Holbrook, who people love to beat up on, they love to beat up on Chad Holbrook. Chad Holbrook got fired for a lot less than what Mark Kingston is doing right now. South Carolina never won less than 30 games with Chad Holbrook as the head coach. South Carolina's on pace right now to do it for a second time in 4 seasons coached with Mark Kingston. And again, I'll continue to preach it and reiterate it. If you want to make excuses, be an excuse maker. If you want to condone the losing, then go be a loser. If you want to justify the statistics, the record, all that jazz, when you look at the 2022 season, fine. But folks, you know what you can't deny and you can't ignore and you can't spin and you can't make an excuse for? I present you this question. Why does every single player, or at least the majority of them, Why does everyone say the same things about Mark Kingston? Toxic locker room, toxic clubhouse. He's a dickhead. He's hard to play for. Guys leave and they're better. Guys, alumni don't like him. Why does everybody say the same thing? Because they are. They are. You know they are. We all know they are. It's like the worst kept secret right now. We've all heard it at this point. Everyone's saying the same thing. It is like this is the most no-brainer, obvious decision in the history of coaching decisions. It is. It is a no-brainer what has to happen. Again, the stats and the record, that's just a piece of it. I'm more concerned with what guys that have played under this dude have to say. That's what really irks me. And then hearing alumni and just everyone that knows baseball. Again, these are not fans on Twitter. These are people that know the game, that played at this school, that played for this coach. You know what I mean? Like it's so crystal clear. It's so plain as day. So you know what? If Mark Kingston comes back because the board of trustees is a mess, and because Ray Tanner is incompetent as they come as AD, or whatever the reasoning is, number one, he's the luckiest son of a bitch on this planet. And number two, he won't be here longer than next year when we are able to make the move. He's not the long-term answer. He's not the long-term guy. He's not the guy to get South Carolina baseball back to Omaha. That is not me sitting here saying that we would never win some games with him. Heck, we did it last year. But as I've said before, when you know the guy's not the guy, when you know that, because I think now we know. Whether he's here next year, we know he's not the guy long-term. As soon as you know that and you don't make a move, you're just delaying the inevitable. That's what you're doing. It's the same thing that happened with Muschamp. People hated when I said fire Muschamp, he's not the guy in 2019. Well, that's because it clicked for me. He ain't the guy. He ain't. He's not it. He's not it. And guess what happened? He wasn't it. This is the most no-brainer decision ever. I mean, again, I said it last week. Muschamp was controversial. Martin was controversial. This is as common sense as brushing your teeth every morning. Like, there's nothing to this. There's nothing to this. And again, I hate for that to be the lead topic today after we take 2 of 3, but taking 2 of 3 from Kentucky doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. Anyways, let's see. Tyler gave the ship has sailed in baseball. Chris Miller, in my opinion, Chad Holbrook's downfall was following in Ray Tanner's footsteps. I mean, yeah, listen. You never want to be the guy that falls at the legend, Chris. You don't. I understand Chad Holbrook was far from perfect, but again, the biggest indictment on Chad Holbrook was he was being compared to Ray Tanner. Nobody was going to live up to Ray Tanner. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Rodney Yes says, I believe we will know his fate Sunday at the presser. If he starts throwing up his record on what he's done since he's arrived at USC, like Muschamp and Frankie's done. We'll see, Rodney. We'll see. Anyways. Want to hear from you guys. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Also, guys, you see our friends over at Match Bets. Daily Crows brought to you by Match Bets. Go to matchbets.com. Use the promo code TSUS at sign up. You get a 100% deposit match up to $4,000. That's a lot of money. Matchbets.com, promo code TSUS at sign up. Let's see. Wow. FanDuel has dropped a spread on the South Carolina Clemson football game. Those of you who hate preseason content are just going to love this. I mean, those people are going to love this. FanDuel has dropped a spread on the South Carolina Clemson game. And it's honestly not far off from what I would have expected. Fair or unfair. FanDuel has Clemson favored minus 17.5. Clemson a 17.5 point favorite. Your thoughts? What do you think? Again, this is like way too early spreads, but FanDuel has went ahead and dropped it. What do you guys think? Would you, hey, I'll tell you this. Would you take the Gamecocks right now plus 17.5? Right now. Haven't played a down, haven't played a game. We're not even in fall camp. We're not even in SEC media days. But right now, 17.5. What side would you take? Would you take the Gamecocks to cover the 17.5? Thomas Walker says, try to give some tickets away in Florence to yesterday's game. Most of the feedback I got from big fans was that it wasn't worth the trip to Columbia anymore this season. I mean, Thomas, I don't blame him. I mean, even though we're going for the sweep yesterday, the season, unfortunately, like when we won Friday, all I could think in my head was, what's unfortunate about it is that the season's over. We're just trying to make it as respectable as possible as we get to the finish line. That's it. That's it. That's all we're doing. And I hate to say that. I really do. I hate to say that, but yeah. So, anyways. Jimmy Clark says, I'll take the Cox. Brendan M says, plus 17. He's down. DGD says, I take that Pickens and Birch and give that O-line hell. Travis Lee says, not until we prove we can stay within 20. Let's see. Also, guys, a little bit of a side note. Let's turn the conversation a little bit. As those of you who have tuned to the Daily Crow religiously know at this point, and also from the Big Cock Club Discord, you really know, we're making moves behind the scenes when it comes to business, in regards to business, and in regards to expansion. Well, I'm not going to spoil any surprises in regards to like any hard dates or anything like that, but I can tell you that things are moving. Wheels are turning. Things are happening when it comes to this SEC entity. And it's something you're probably going to see sooner rather than later. As far as like, we've already got the social media handles claimed. The logo is 95% done, being just cleaned up right now and worked on. And this is going to be a huge week. Let me just put it that way. I'm very excited. I will keep you guys in the loop, but I'm very, very, very pumped for some things that are coming. So just stay tuned for that. Trust me. I will keep you guys in the loop. Travis Lee, I'm not going to spoil the name. If you're in the Big Cock Club, you know the name. I'm not going to spoil the name here. You will find out when it happens. Again, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord or Big Cock Club in general, you know the name. But I'm excited, man. I'm very, very excited. I really am. It's it's something where, I was asked this morning. What's funny, I was asked this morning, again, this is sort of a side note. We'll get back to the Gamecock chatter in just a second. But I was asked about my 5-year plan this morning, Phil says, clip this, Chris. This is gold. He must be behind. Phil, what part of it do you want me to clip? Let me know. But, the rant will be shared about Kingston. I was asked this morning about my 5-year plan. And I think that it's important to goal set. And I need to do a better job of, my manifestation and even setting more specific goals. Like, I think that's something we can probably all improve on, right? We can all improve on it. But when it comes to 5-year plan, I'm someone that, again, I set micro goals, set macro goals, set all kinds of goals. But I also believe in being present moment and embracing the moment and just learning on the fly. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if you think about the future too much, you kind of lose the beauty of right now. You know what I mean? And the way my brain operates and processes is different than some people, right? You certainly don't want to dwell on the past. Dwelling on the past does nothing for anybody. But when you sit there and you dwell on the future, that can lead to anxiety. Oh, I should be doing this. I should be here. I should be there. Like, it's a journey. Hence the hat. The joy is in the journey. It's a journey. Allow yourself to pivot. Allow yourself to change your mind. Allow yourself to not be so attached to this timetable you set for yourself, because that goal you set so hard to, well, it's going to take 5 years. This is my 5-year plan. Guys, it can happen in 6 months. I mean, it can happen like that. Like this SEC entity thing, I believe in flow, being in peak flow state and allowing things to happen. I didn't know I was going to want to pursue the SEC entity this quick. I didn't know. I didn't know I was. So, again, I don't want to go on some rant. We're here to talk Gamecocks, whatever, but I'm very, very, very excited for what's coming. And it's something the way I did with TSUS, I'll be doing the same with this. Just something to learn as we go, man, and grow and evolve, the joys in the journey. That's the beauty of it. And I know that I will have you guys love and support, and that's really that feels good to know. I know you guys will rock with us for sure. Anyways, let's get back to your questions and everything. Savannah Webster says, excited to meet the Gamecock Bourbon Society folks next month for the event here in Tampa. Yeah, it sounds like you guys, Savannah, are going to have a really, really good time. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the rant on Kingston, Phil. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but, you know, I feel like it probably needs to be heard yet again. Savannah says, Clemson just happened to find their rhythm late in the year. Timing matters sometimes, and playing them earlier would have helped us. DGD says adaptation. Yeah, man, you got to be able to adapt and pivot and change your mind and again, embrace failure, be able to grow and evolve and make adjustments. That's the beauty of it, man. Like I said, I mean, trust me, people see TSUS and I don't know if they just think that, oh, it just popped out like this. This is how it's always been. No, like, no, bro. I've made content that was not well received. I've made content that didn't do well, and we've adjusted along the way. Jimmy Mendio, how has Foster not been picked up yet? Well, Jimmy, I think what it is, my guy, is that, unfortunately, and this goes for all sports, the professional level is more about projectability and measurables than it is about just because Jalen Foster had 6 picks in SEC play last year. That doesn't mean he's a pro. It doesn't mean he's an NFL guy. It doesn't mean somebody's going to want to sign him. You know what I mean? Like, we think he's great. In regards to like NFL defensive backs, they might think he's not very good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, that's just trying to give you an idea. I think that's really what happens. My guy Dirt texting in. I don't know if Dirt is tuned in. I hope he is, but he says, have to beat Florida once this week to feel good. Dirt, we have to sweep them. My guy, we are 12-7 or 12-15 in conference play. We finished 13-17. Like, there is no chance. There is a negative $1 million chance. We'd literally have to win the entire SEC tournament. Literally. So, Mule says life is what happens when you're making other plans. We're getting so philosophical and so deep here on the Daily Cry. I love to see that. Let's see. Enter the textbook. I would take South Carolina with that 17.5 point spread. Yeah, again, in case you missed it, early spread, Clemson minus 17.5. How about somebody calling me out on social media talking about skipping leg day? My guy, we do leg day twice a week, my guy. I'm getting called out for leg day? Really? If there's one fact you should know about TSUS, we don't skip leg day. Now, am I lifting legs the way I lifted in college? Absolutely not. My guy, I don't need to squat 400 pounds anymore. Not necessary. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. But to say we're skipping leg day is also very inaccurate. Very inaccurate. So my guy, Tyler Newton on Twitter, I hear you. Dude's looks like he's a fitness guy. Looks like he's a fitness trainer. My guy, we're not skipping leg day, my guy. We're not skipping leg day. TSUS does not skip leg day. That's a fact. That's a fact. And on that note, by the way, you know what? I won't even say it. Either way, I'm not skipping leg day. Let's see here. Justin Langford, I don't think Foster got the mentality and focus from the former regime until Beamer and crew came on board. Yeah, I mean, they did such a good job. Such a good job developing him. Yeah, you really got to tip the cap to Clayton White and Torian Gray and those guys, what they did with Jalen Foster, getting the most out of him. But again, that doesn't mean he's an NFL guy. I know that's hard for some people to comprehend, but, doesn't mean he's an NFL guy. Yah Mule, you going to the Thursday game. I am not Yah Mule because it is in Gainesville, my dude. It is in Gainesville. Luke RJ says, I didn't know that people claim Kingston's mean baseball coach just sucks. Some people didn't play in high school that love baseball. Well, Luke RJ, here's the thing. Ray Tanner was a dickhead. I don't know if you realize that or not. Like, Ray Tanner was tough to play for. From guys I've talked to that were on those teams, they said Ray Tanner was tough, real tough. But he knew how to get the most out of his guys. Let me say this. I've just heard things that Kingston is tough to play for. Whatever that means, is he mean? Like, whatever. But I've just heard he's tough to play for. He's just tough to play for. Savannah, we might have some people make the trip. I can't make it. I have plans already. Savannah and everybody else, I hate to say it. Like, if there was something on the line, I'd consider going to Gainesville this weekend. I will gladly watch it from the studio, man. I will gladly stay at home base and watch it. So let's see. Again, guys, I want to hear from you. 843-790-3377. Big Game Boomer dropping his top 50 tight ends entering the 2022 season. He has Jaheim Bell ranked 10th on this list. And at 35th, Austin Stogner. Number one, of course, Brock Bowers from Georgia. I tell you what, I don't know what Oscar Delp was thinking. I don't know what Oscar Delp was thinking, bro. Playing time could not have been on his mind because there are 3 Georgia tight ends in the top 50, and none of them are him. So, Phil says 2 home games left for New England Free Jacks. Chris, when are you headed up? When are the games? Let me know. Travis says, so Chris, Carlin Splitel has more upside than Foster. Travis, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Jalen Foster might get signed. I don't know why he hasn't. I have no idea. I don't listen. I'm not going to pretend like I know Platel and Foster on an NFL level. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, my guy. I don't know. DGD Oscar Delp is a Bowers clone from a gameplay perspective. Rotation. DGD, let's just call it for what it is, man. Delp. Listen, I respect it. Delp, Georgia kid, his best little buddy, Gunnar Stockton, goes there. He wants to go try to get a ring. That's fine. He didn't go there to play. Oscar Delp did not go to Georgia because he's like, well, I'm going to play a lot. Bro, you'll be lucky to ever see the field. Ever. Oscar Delp could have came to Carolina and been a starting player from the jump. And that's okay, though. I'm not saying it's wrong, but Oscar Delp would rather ride the pine and maybe get a ring than play, flat out. So, let's see. I think it's more likely Oscar Delp transfers than ever makes an impact in Athens. Just my take, just my 2 cents. Let's see. And Gunnar Stockton, I think it's a better chance he transfers than ever plays there either. I've literally heard that from people that like Gunnar Stockton will probably never see the field at Georgia. Ed McKinnis, do you think Marshawn is poised for a breakout year? Yeah, no, I think so. Second year coming off the injury, I think I don't think we gave enough credit last year to just how seriously hurt he was. Or not seriously hurt, but how much coming off of that injury first year coming back affected him. I don't know that we gave nearly enough credit. So I'm excited for Marshawn, man. I really am. Is Is he going to be the guy that I feel like with Marshawn, one of the things, guys, the expectations for him are so high. They're so high. But, I do expect a really, really good year. I do expect a really good year for Marshawn. I mean, I think he's whether it's Beal Smith or him, I think Marshawn Lloyd is in the 1-2. I think he's in the 1-2 punch. Juju McDowell obviously going to get used a ton. What's crazy is I feel like Juju's the guy that's kind of forgotten, I feel like he's kind of the guy that's forgotten. So, let's see. Yes, man, I'd love to see Juju McDowell on special teams. I really would. I would love to see Juju on special teams. I think that, we saw it with Debo, how much special teams can impact a game. Why not put him back there? I mean, it's, again, Beamer ball. It's a huge part of the game. Use him in that way. He's going to be fighting for reps at running back. What a great way to get the ball in his hands, because I tell you what, Juju McDowell, a little bit of a slept-on player, doesn't get quite the height that some other guys do. But every time he touches the football, it feels like good things happen. I mean, this dude, it feels like he averages 9-10 yards a touch. Every time he touches it, he's getting positive yards. So, I mean, whether it's at running back, you want to split him out wide, you want to use him in a jet sweep type deal, or use him on special teams. I just think he's a dude that probably needs to be touching the football 8 to 10 times a game at minimum. I mean, at minimum, he needs to be touching it in that capacity. So it's going to be a lot of fun. How does the running back room shake out? How do they use? I mean, that is the number one task, I think, right now of Marcus Satterfield is, you've upgraded across the board. You've added weapons across the board. Now, how do you put the pieces of the puzzle together, right? How do you use the skill set of a Dak Joyner? How do you use the skill set of a Juju? How do you divvy up, distributing the ball to the Vans, the Wells, the Jaheim Bells, the Stogners? How do you get everybody the ball enough? How do you utilize a Lavassier Carroll? Can he be somebody for you? That is and how do you do that while working around an offensive line that may or may not be a bit of a liability? You know what I mean? So that will be the number one challenge for Marcus Satterfield, I think, this fall is you've got the weapons. I mean, again, we've all agreed there's no excuse. You've got the quarterback. You've got the guy behind the wheel. It's your job to put the gas in the tank and get this thing rolling. So, anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. We are going to go ahead and jump into our first break. We are flying here on this Monday. Guys, would love to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, we are back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. By the way, the Road to Glory content, we are going to continue along with that. I do not have it planned for this week. Just looking at the calendar, we might do, well, I don't know. I was going to say we might do something in the morning. That don't really sound like a good idea. Maybe like a Wednesday night. Maybe tonight. You never know. Maybe tonight. Definitely not tomorrow. We're not going to do it during the time that is the Daily Crow. So you guys just stay tuned. We're going to get it in this week. We're going to get it in at some point this week. Maybe a late Saturday. You never know. But we are going to get in the Road to Glory content this week. Big week, obviously, next week, guys, with the SEC tournament going. And like I said, there's a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes as well. So just stay tuned. A lot of exciting stuff happening. Again, I want to continue to hear from you guys. We can talk South Carolina baseball. We can talk whatever you like, I posted a throwback clip this morning of Ryan Suckup. I don't know. I'm just every now and then I'll just get in these moods and just a player will come to my mind or a moment or something. And this morning I was like, we love kickers on this show. Like, I'm a big kicker. I'm a big specialist guy. Like, show love for the brand. Shout out Pat McAfee for the brand. I'm a big specialist guy. So I was like, Ryan Suckup was really good. He was really good. Dude hit bombs. I mean, the one I posted this morning. Ryan Suckup hit a 55-yarder at Vandy. And, I mean, it would have been good from 65. Truly. Stacy Manley says on Inside Gamecock saying more likely Kingston stays in the year. Stacy Manley, who is Inside Gamecock or what is Inside Gamecock? Matt is free. What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Ed McKinnis, if Satterfield's offense underperforms again this season, think it's time to cut bait. Yes, Ed, absolutely. Absolutely, 110%. Yeah. If the offense does not work this year, Ed, it's on one guy. It is on one guy. There's no excuse. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Nothing. If the offense does not perform this year, it is on one person. One. And that is Mr. Satterfield. So, you can hate that. You can kick, scream. Tough shit. This is SEC football. You're getting paid a lot of money. If you can't perform with the talent you've been offered, you got to go. You just got to go. I'm sorry. You got to go. Actually, sorry, not sorry. You got to go. Stacy Manley saying, okay, J.C. Sherbert is saying that Kingston will stay another year. I mean, Stacy, I'm not saying it's impossible, but is it more so because we believe in Mark Kingston that he's the guy or because we're such a shit show up top? I mean, South Carolina, guys, love USC. It's a complete shit show. Behind closed doors, those in charge, board of trustees and egos and politics. Bro, it is such a mess. I mean, it is such a mess. It's like, that's why I stay on the sports side of things. Because I know JC has talked about it before, which more power to him. I know others have talked about it. I don't get into politics, guys. I'm not a political guy in the slightest. I stay in my lane and control what I can control, and those are the things that I worry about. Yeah, but it is a ton of incompetence behind closed doors. That's what it feels like, at least. That's what it feels like, no doubt. Let's see. Cody, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. John Edward Kruger says I'd go right now Luke Doty. What are you talking about? Spencer Webster, is Sanders gone? No, Sanders is a sophomore. Unless he transfers, he's going nowhere. No, Sanders is back. Sanders is back for sure. Let's see. Monday, May the 16th, 2022. Again, we got baseball tomorrow night. Then we got baseball Thursday through Saturday. So it's going to be a very fun week. I mean, again, the final week of the regular season. The final week of the regular season. Oh, John Edward Kruger, if you could take a wild guess who will take over to Rattler Lease of the NFL, just a thought. John Edward Kruger says he would go with Luke Doty. I'll get to that in just a second. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
Robbie, what is going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well, and let's be sure to note it is Robbie Davis's birthday eve. Birthday eve for Robbie
Yes,
Davis.
it's birthday eve. For me.
Birthday eve.
And
for
don't
Robbie
ask me
Davis.
why I did this, but you know how your birthday is December 25th, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask me why I did this, but I was bored, so I was like, I just thought of it, and I was like, I am 7 months and 8 days older than you.
Okay. I did not know that. That is news to me, my friend. Very good. Good math on your part. So.
And like I've said before, math is not my strong suit, but I got it correct that time.
Very good.
I think we'll win tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how good Florida is in baseball this year.
They are a game better than us in SEC play right now. They are 25th in some polls. It's been a very up and down year for them, but yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. But if I had to make my decision right now, I would probably have us losing 2 out of 3 in Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
Just solely on the fact, like you've said before, and I've said before, and a bunch of other people have said before, we just don't win consistently enough. And like you said earlier, way before you went to break, losing to the Citadel, USC Upstate, and all the other schools that we should have beaten, okay, that did not help matters whatsoever. It didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about 75% sure that Kingston will not be back next
Mm-hmm. 75%. That's what you put it at.
Yeah. I mean, if it was me, as soon as the season was over, I'd be like, we're going to go another direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have that power. You don't have that power. People in the live chat don't have the power. It's the big wigs that have the power. Okay? And regardless of what happens in the off season, will I watch baseball next season? Yes, I will. Regardless of what happens in any of the big sports, I will watch the games. I assure you of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I mean, like you said during football season, the reason why we keep coming back during football season is because, one, it's the major moneymaker, and 2, you only have 7 home games a season. 7. That is it. That is why, when it comes to football, that's our ride or die sport. Or ride and die. Meaning we'll support the football team regardless. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited to see, just purely out of curiosity, what the men's basketball team will look like this season under a new regime. Is it going to probably take a minute? Oh yeah, it'll probably take a minute. It's basically a complete rebuild. like you said before, and I've said before, we don't really know much about Lamont except for that he coached. He was
Chattanooga.
coach at Chattanooga, and that's basically all we know. That, and he's been to the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, we really don't know nothing. And I'm hoping that whatever his coaching philosophy is, the players buy into it and have his back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough job. Listen. I have no expectations for Lamont year one. It is a really, really tough job. South Carolina basketball is a really tough job, and it says a lot again. Where you're in a program where if you made the NCAA tournament 3 times in a decade, you're great. That would be like. I would sign up for that right now over the course of the next decade. If Lamont Paris got us to 3 tournaments, I'd take it. So, Robbie, I don't mean to cut you off, my guy, but I want to switch up the topic of conversation because, as you mentioned, what did you say your prediction was for tomorrow night? Do you have one yet?
I didn't give you my prediction.
Well, I need it right now. Right now, can you spit it out now?
I think we'll win. I think we will win the game. 5-3.
5-3. Okay, so you got South Carolina beating Charlotte 5-3. The reason I ask, Robbie, I'm going to be holding you to that. Okay, I'm going to be holding you to that prediction, and I'm going to be holding you to it in person because you're going to be at the game. By the way, Rod Smith, Marion R26, obviously. Wanted me to tell you for your birthday, surprise, you're going to the baseball game.
Let's go! Best birthday ever! Let's go!
Section 14, row 14, behind home plate. Surprise, surprise. Happy early birthday, Robbie. We will see you at Founders Park tomorrow night.
Dude, yes. Party at Founders Park. James, are you going to be there or no?
I will 110% be there, Robbie. I will be there wishing you a very happy birthday. I might even have something up my sleeve for you for a birthday gift. So just, I don't want to make any unfair promises, but I'm going to do something for you, my guy.
I'm the kind of guy that I love surprises.
I'm going to do something for you, but yep, Rod reached out to me this morning. And, we had a little fix-in today on the show when you called in, Robbie. So happy early birthday, my guy. It'll be fun tomorrow night, but yet you're going to be at the game tomorrow night. So
let's go! I'm like on cloud 9 right now. Exactly a year ago tomorrow, I went and watched them play App State, which was the day after my birthday.
Well, it's sounding like it's got to be like a yearly birthday tradition, either the week of your birthday, the day, or whatever.
And my mom would tell you to, like, and this is the truth, when it comes to my birthday, I normally don't ask for much. So literally all I really asked for this year, going out to dinner and going to the baseball game. That's literally it.
Well, I'm excited for you and for Rod to get out there.
And I also told my mom, I said, if possible, I want some Spurs Up show merch on it.
What size you wear, Robbie? T-shirt.
In what?
T-shirt.
Large.
Large. Okay.
But
I just curious. Yeah. All right.
All right. And also, when it comes to the football, the football season, okay, it's very simple, okay? The offense's job, score points, right? Get points on the board, okay? And whenever the defense has the opposing team, no matter who it is, I don't give a darn if it's UNC Charlotte, if it's South Carolina State. I don't give a flying monkey fart, Chris, okay? Whenever we got a team and it's third and 8 or third and 8 or third and 10 or third in the next county, I don't give a darn. Get off the field. Because if the defense does their jobs correctly and you get a crap turn of 3 and out, that also means your defense is not getting that tired and your offense is in a groove and you are kicking the other team's ass. And like I also said last week, if we ever have an opportunity and we get an interception or a fumble recovery and we get the interception on the positive or the fumble recovery on the positive side of the 50, get 6 or get 3. I don't give a darn, but I prefer 6 because 6 is more than 3 and 6 is more than 2 because you can also get a safety. But just whenever you get turnovers, just capitalize off of them. Don't get turnovers and not capitalize off of them. And that's with any sport that involves turnovers, like basketball, football, and any other sport that I can't think of right now. But you know what I mean, okay? And whenever we play, I don't care. I don't care if it's against Georgia State, South Carolina State, UNC Charlotte, Vanderbilt, for God's sake. I don't care. Whenever we're playing at Willie B, make the opposing team's life a living hell for 3.5 hours. Make their life a living hell and make them want to get on the bus and go home before the game is even over. Give them what they came for. Give them an ass whooping and tell them thank you for coming and receiving your butt cutting. Okay, that is what needs to happen this season for the football team. And I honestly agree with you. If the offense does not produce this year, Sat needs to go. Good old Satty needs to go.
You have been warned, Sat. You have been warned.
You hear me, Sat?
The warnings.
If the offense is not moving the football and scoring points, you need to go. I mean, hey, like I've said before,
God.
if you don't get the job done, you're going to
consider
get
this
fired,
your
okay?
warning,
I don't
Sat.
care.
Oh my God.
If you don't get the job done and you're not doing it on a regular basis, you're going to get fired. So it would be safe to say that his seat is going to be hot. Not firing hot, but it's going to be pretty dang hot this season.
Pretty darn warm. Pretty darn warm, yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll be working up a little sweat. That's for sure. He's working up a little sweat. And honestly, Beamer, if you need my help getting his crap out of his office just in case our offense sucks this year, I got your back. Okay? I will help you clean out his office. Okay?
I love it.
I think this could go down as probably one of my epic calls.
Truly. It's up there. It's up there, my guy. It's up there for sure. Robbie, I'm just excited to see you at the game tomorrow night, my man. Rod reached out to me this morning, like I said. And
Dude, I am so happy.
Great seats too. You're gonna have a great view, my man. You're gonna have a great. Hopefully, I've got my fingers crossed, hoping and praying that the Gamecocks give you a W for your birthday. I'm hoping that's the case. 5-3. I would love to see that.
Wait, who's pitching tomorrow? Who's pitching
Probably Eli Jones again. I don't know why they'd go somebody else, but you never know. But I think it'll probably be Eli Jones. We will find out later today. So you'll probably see some combination of Eli Jones, I don't know, Parker Coyne, maybe Cade Austin, try to piece it together. Aiden Hunter, something like that.
I mean, from what I've seen, Aiden Hunter's doing pretty good for himself.
Hey, he's had a solid year. Been a little bit up and down, but that's typical for a freshman. But no, he's had a solid year.
And what's that dude's name that pitched? He pitched on Saturday. What's his name?
Noah Hall, the starter.
Yeah, that dude. He could shove.
Yeah, he just got co-SEC Pitcher of the Week. So yeah, he had a hell of an outing. Yeah, he's been incredible all year.
Is he a junior?
He's a junior,
What
yeah.
is
So
he?
I think he might be back next year, but it'll depend on probably where he gets drafted.
If he comes back next year, if I was coaching, he would be the Friday night starter.
Mhm.
Because in my opinion, just from what I have seen him do, he's worked his tail off, and he honestly deserves it. Just from what I've seen this year, I would give it to him if I was coaching. I'd be like, look, I'd sit him down and be like, look, you're going to be the Friday night starter. And like you've said before, and this is a fact, if you're a Friday night starter, that's a big deal when it comes to college baseball.
Right.
And what I want to see the bats do tomorrow, okay, simple. Hit it where they ain't, and whenever they give you a dadgum lollipop, crush it. I mean, I used to, whenever I played baseball, I used to picture the baseball as, I would never get a hit, but I would always picture the baseball as like a bully that I dealt with in the past, and I'd try to cream the living crap out of it.
I love that. Hey, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Truly, whatever it takes.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. You have a great rest of your day. I'm going to find me something to eat because I'm starting to get hungry and my stomach is growling. So I'm going to get over here. You have a great rest of your day. Try and stay cool because it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have a good one, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow evening. Go Gamecocks! To heck with Clemson, you bunch of farming losers, you chicken farmers, you cow farmers, and whatever else, whatever other kind of farm animal there is. I don't know. Pigs? I don't care. That's the best place for a Clemson fan to be, in a dadgum mud puddle with pigs getting muddy and nasty and disgusting. You bunch of losers. Losers! All right, man. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Robbie, we'll talk soon. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you. Awesome stuff. Y'all see Robbie Davis at Founders Park tomorrow night. Be sure to wish him a happy birthday. Awesome stuff, man. Rod, I know Marion, R26. I know he's tuned in. Appreciate you. I think he's tuned in. Appreciate you, my man, reaching out. Great stuff. Great stuff. That's awesome. That's super, super awesome. Cannot wait to see Robbie tomorrow night. 843-790-3377. Let's see. Justin, I'm glad, Housen, I was able to make your day, sir. Getting you on the – I loved your clip. Loved your call. Hey, that's the you come on here, you make a good call, you got a chance to get a clip, my guy. Got a chance to get a clip. This is y'all's show, as I've said before. I'm just here facilitating the calls. That's it. I'd love the whole show start to finish, just be nothing but calls. Y'all hear me rant enough. You know what I mean? That's what the podcast is for. This is for y'all. So yeah. Maddox Free, who are we set to face off first in the SEC tournament? I'll be honest with you, Maddox, right now I'm not 110% sure. And that's something that really isn't going to be figured out until after the weekend. I mean, there's still, I think, a lot of shuffling that's going to take place. So we really won't know. Guys, by the way, I have not dropped this on social media yet, but brand new hats have hit the store, and I don't know why it took me this long to get these out there, but the Shane Storm hats are officially over at tsus.store. I'm going to go ahead and share this really quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Here you go. Check out the hats, guys. Brand new hats. Oop, let's go back. The Shane Storm hats are now available. Again, I don't know why it took me this long to create these hats, but they're finally available. So go check them out, tsus.store. These hats are fire. I mean, absolute flames, fuego. You need one. You got to have one. The Shane Storm caps, available now. Again, really, really good stuff. tsus.store. And appreciate you guys' love when it comes to the merchandise side of the business. Rakeem Sprinkles is our 23 recruit target. McLeod talked down on Dabo on IG. Really, I didn't know that. Do I see it as a trend or I think some of the shine that, it felt like when they won their first national title, Clemson was kind of looked at as like the darling, if you will. I think some of that shine is wearing off a little bit. I'm not going to say like Clemson's not going to be able to get good players, but maybe things are starting to turn a little bit. I don't know. You want things to really turn, we got to beat them. We got to beat them. Bottom line, we got to beat them. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump into another break. But I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Let's see. What do we got? Robbie, appreciate you again, my friend. Happy early birthday to Robbie Davis. Tomorrow going to be a fun show. We'll wish Robbie happy birthday tomorrow. We'll head out to the game. Of course, Gamecocks taking on Charlotte tomorrow night at Founders Park, the final home game of the 2022 baseball season. It's crazy how time flies when you are having fun. Guys, by the way, I'm just thinking about this afternoon. I do think this afternoon we will probably do a Road to Glory. I think so. So just stay tuned for that. Again, it's not planned. I mean, a lot of our content's not planned, man. So you just got to be able to roll with the punches, my guy. Got to be able to roll with the punches. So either way, looking forward to that. Anyways, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Our good friend over at SG1 Sports. Obviously, he's the one that does all of our rosters for our NCAA football content. He actually put out he released, I guess this was a couple of days ago, his SEC East projected standings for this upcoming season. No surprise, he's got Georgia winning the SEC East, finishing 11-1 overall, 7-1 in SEC play. In second, he's got the Tennessee Volunteers finishing 8-4 in overall, 5-3 in SEC play. In third, he's got the Kentucky Wildcats, also finishing 8-4, but 4-4 in SEC play. Then he's got South Carolina, 7-5 in overall, 4-4 in SEC play, which I think is a very fair prediction. He's got Florida in fifth, 7-5, 4-4. Mizzou in sixth, 6-6 and 3-5, and then Vandy at the bottom, 2-10 overall and 0-8 in SEC play. So I think that's a fair prediction. 7-5, 4-4 in conference. I think that's, and I would assume your 4 conference wins. You're looking at Vanderbilt, Missouri, Kentucky, and who am I forgetting? Maybe Tennessee, Florida. No, Florida. So Florida. I think probably those are the 4. Yeah, those are the 4 probably. So I think that's a very fair prediction, though. 7-5. You know, again, guys, I'm not trying to spoil, which I'm not spoiling my prediction, but I think that a 7-5 or 8-4 prediction is fair for South Carolina this year. I think it is. I think it is. I think that's a fair prediction. And I think that's where you'll see most analysts pick the Gamecocks to finish. I don't think you're going to see really anybody pick Carolina to finish like short of a bowl game. And I don't think you're going to see many folks either pick this team to go 9-3 or God forbid anything better. So I think most predictions, I think the safe bet, the safe pick is going to be a 7-5 record. I think that just feels like the safe pick for this team. 8-4 certainly possible. Maybe 6-6, but 7-5 just feels like the right number. DGD says, I want to hear your thoughts on the proposed idea of pods compared to the current division layout. Yeah, so the pod thing that took over, that went crazy. Let's have this conversation. Let me ask you this. What is the advantage to having pods over what we currently have? You know, obviously you're going to add Texas and Oklahoma, right? You are. 16-team league. If you had 2 divisions, you got 8 teams in each league. Here's what I would ask. The biggest advantage I guess I see for pods is the randomness of the scheduling. Because I think if you have 2 divisions, there's just going to be opponents you don't play for like a decade. And that nobody wants to see that. Like I want to see schedules change, things shuffle a little bit here and there. I think you've definitely got to have some yearly matchups, right? Like South Carolina, Georgia, that needs to be played on a yearly basis. No question. That's got to be played every single year. But, you know, how often do the Gamecocks see Alabama? How often do they see LSU? How often do we see, a lot of teams from the West, right? And that's right now. That's without adding 2 more teams. So I think from that perspective, I would like to see it. But I wonder, and I understand it's all entertainment value, right? And it's all about keeping fans invested for longer in a season. That's what it really comes down to. Because all I see from the who's in college footballs and analysts is there's nothing like the college football regular season. It's the best thing in sports. The college football regular season. Yeah. Is it though? Is it? That's the number one argument of why the analysts that I see or the people that I hear from that talk college ball, that's like the top reason they don't want to play off. Oh, well, it diminishes the meaning of the regular season. The regular season doesn't mean anything. Number one, I would say, to who? You're telling me Carolina Clemson won't mean anything if they had a 64-team playoff? Which, that's so absurd over the top, and I'm not suggesting a 64-team playoff. But that game all of a sudden loses its value. Auburn, Alabama loses its value because of some playoff. So the college football regular season, right? Why does a pod system work better than divisions? Are we, and again, it's about keeping fan bases invested for longer. So if you have pods and 4 teams in a pod, let's say it's, as Jeff is pointing out, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Auburn. You're going to have 4 pods, 4 teams in each pod, and a winner of each pod. Again, what is the end goal of the pod system? Is it to keep fan bases and teams engaged longer because you actually feel like you're playing for something? Because if you have 2 divisions of 8 teams, the bottom half of that league is playing for nothing by the midway point of the season. If the end goal, a title. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
So I got a question for you. There's a lot of talk this year about Shane Beamer. I hear him saying a lot, there's never been more hype about South Carolina Gamecock football. About, is there more risk for Shane Beamer this year if he underperforms everybody's expectations? So we've all seen the schedule. It's pretty tough. I'm optimistic about it, but if he goes out there, let's say he only gets 4 or 5 wins with all this pressure and expectation on him, what could happen? Could the narrative shift around Shane Beamer? Is there added risk to the pressures? Just wondering, what you think about all that. Thanks, man.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, I think, listen, pressure's a privilege, number one. You want pressure. It means we have expectations. I don't care, and I appreciate the call, my man. I don't care who the coach is. Making a bowl game is minimum expectation at South Carolina. So, but, you make a good point. Narratives can change quickly, right? I mean, again, think of this. And this is true for any team. Think how differently the narrative of South Carolina football and this upcoming season is, and the view on last season is, if we'd have lost to North Carolina in the bowl game. We're having a completely different conversation. The narrative goes from, oh, South Carolina football, it's on the up and up. We're on the rise. We could do this. We could do that. It goes from that to, well, I don't know about Shane Beamer. I don't know about this coaching staff. They got to prove themselves in year 2. You see what I'm saying? So one game can shift an entire narrative, fairly or unfairly. I mean, hey, look at, South Carolina beats Georgia in week 3. I mean, does that start to shift the narrative, right? Of South Carolina being at one spot as a program versus another, you know what I mean? Where they are, where they sit. So there's pressure. There's pressure every year. You're an SEC football coach. I just preaching to the Gamecocks fan base. That's why I would say keep things in perspective. Remind yourself and understand it's year 2. It's just year 2. It's just year 2. Understand it's just year 2. And just know that, if South Carolina does go 6-6, would it be disappointing? Sure. But it's not an indictment on the long term. I just, when Shane Beamer was hired, I just put it in my own mind, okay, this is not an overnight thing. This is a 5, 6, 7 year type of deal. We need to allow him to recruit. We need to allow him to build, and let's see where it takes us. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm really glad we had success last year. Trust me. I'm really happy we had success, made a bowl game, but it's
Call
just
from
not going to happen overnight.
Housing and a young Gamecock member.
To accept,
Let's
press
jump
1.
in.
To send a voice.
How's what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, man, what's up, my guy? So, my little girl had a little dentist appointment today, and she heard me listening to the Spurs Up show, and I picked her up from school. So she wanted to call in and tell the show a little something. What you want to tell them, baby?
Yes, go Gamecock!
I love that. I love that. Probably the most wholesome content we've ever had on this show, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, probably most definitely one of the most lighthearted, pure joy ones
I love
we've
that.
had on the show. Just wanted to say thanks for all you do for Gamecock Nation. As far as Lamont Paris, I give him 2 years before he has us in contention for anything. Granted, he did come from Chattanooga, but his style of play is what really impressed me and what I think would be a good fit, because it's a modern style of play. He likes to run the court. He likes to play big, but all of his bigs that he has seem to know how to stretch and space the floor out. So I think 2 years we can probably see improvement. I definitely think, even though he went out and used the trade pool, he definitely picked up a couple of key assets, especially the power forward we got, I think, from Ohio State. I think he's going to come in and produce early. And I'm still standing on it. I'm still calling my shot. Clemson, yes, they have a stout defense. Their offense is questionable. So if we can keep it to a field goal game, I still say Gamecocks is going to pull that upset. And it's going to be late in the season. No telling what the depth chart's going to look like for either team. But I think we're solidified and we're solid enough that we can pull a big upset.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'd love to see it obviously be Clemson, but I definitely think you look at Georgia, you look at A&M, you look at Clemson. It would not shock me if the Gamecocks found a way to win one of those 3 this year.
The Georgia game, it doesn't matter. It's always been a what-if game, in my opinion, with Georgia, based on the simple fact of it's always early in the season. Both teams are still shaking rust off. If you can catch them sleeping, you got a chance. Georgia's just reloading. They got talent coming back, so I think that's going to be a 70% chance that we lose, 30% chance we pull a rabbit out of our butt and win that one. Texas A&M, I believe in Beamer. I believe in what he's building, but I can't see us beating Texas A&M until it actually happens. We've not done well with that team at all. Kentucky, that's a wild card game for me. The Arkansas game, I think, is going to be interesting for us because Arkansas is ranked, and I honestly feel like we can compete with Arkansas. That's going to be a very interesting game. But I just think even though the ACC is a cupcake conference, they're going to be beat up. I don't really think they have a solidified quarterback going into the game against us. Ua Ungale, he's got questions. I think we all remember the meme of him on the private jet with Dabo. This is where you're going to be throwing interceptions at, and he did. So he's just not proven himself to me as an elite quarterback. So out of those 4 that you mentioned, I'm 50-50 on the Clemson game. I think it's going to come down to a field goal or a touchdown based on all that. But I want to say thanks for letting my little girl give a shout-out to the Gamecocks. I appreciate it. You want to tell them go Gamecocks one more time? All right.
Yes, go Gamecock!
Have a blessed one, my guy.
Howden, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Man, that is awesome. That is awesome. Howson, appreciate it, my man. Love your perspective, everything on Gamecocks football, Gamecocks athletics, and yeah, that was incredible. Anyways, back to the by the way, just the pod thing. I would just say, what's the advantage of it? Do we want to do pods because we want to keep fan bases invested longer and give more teams something to play for, which I know to a lot of people feels like a participation trophy, but it is the reality that, I mean, listen, attendance numbers are suffering, and you can say whatever you want that the college football regular season, it's the best regular season in sports. I could argue not really. Like, there's only 4 teams that get a chance to play for the ultimate prize. 4 teams out of how many are in college football? And I'm not trying to say, well, let's hand out participation trophies left and right, but you need to keep more people invested for longer. So if you have a 16-team playoff, if you have a 32-team playoff, and I'm not saying those are the solutions, but I'm just making the point, if you did, guess what? There's going to be more fan bases, more teams, more schools that are invested in the regular season for longer. And again, I just have never understood the argument that, you know, if you expand the playoff, you do this, you're diminishing the value of the regular season. To who? Again, Carolina, Clemson, Auburn, Alabama, those games down the stretch, rivalry weekend, Ohio State, Michigan, it's always going to have value. That's what makes college football great. Both teams could be 0-11 and have nothing to play for, but that game matters. That game matters. That's it. I don't like national guys trying to say, well, this regional game won't matter. Well, we don't care what you think, national guy. It matters to us. It matters to us. We don't care if it's not in your national scope. We don't care if it's not in your national interest. It still matters to college football fans. College football is a very regional sport as is. The diehards in those regions are what make it special, not because Joe Blow over here that covers college football nationally and has no dog in the fight for anybody isn't interested in the game. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that the regular season right now serves as its own playoff, which is great, but it's also hard for anyone to argue, like, and I know we'd probably still end up with the same 2 teams, but who doesn't want more football? A playoff works at every other level in every other sport. Why wouldn't it work for college football? And I'm in a playoff outside of 4 teams. I'm not talking about a 4-team playoff. It works at every other level. Why can't it work for the college football we know and love? So I've always had that thought on guys that argue the regular season thing. Oh, it's going to diminish the regular season. To who? You think we're not going to watch South Carolina football anymore because the playoff gets expanded? That makes no sense, bro. It literally makes no sense. Who's going to not tune in? The casual? I mean, is the casual going to be deterred from tuning into college football because, or more likely to tune? I just don't really agree with that. I'm not saying have a 64-team playoff. I'm not saying, listen, it's probably still going to come down to, I agree, I think there's only 6 to maybe 8 teams. There's like 6 or 7 teams every year that can realistically win the entire thing.
Call from
Dave Garrett.
Okay, let's jump to the phone lines. Dave, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. Chris, I appreciate you mentioning Charlotte because, I mean, all the Gamecocks I'm talking to, it's like they're skipping over Charlotte. The only thing they can see is Gainesville. And Charlotte has the potential that they could drop a L on us very easily. Mm-hmm. As far as the football goes, I wish they could do, if Texas and Oklahoma comes in and you got 8 teams on each side, I would rather play the 7 teams on our side, the Clemson game, and then do the top 32 teams battle it out. I appreciate it, man. Hope you have a good one. Talk to you soon.
DGD, appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much. Yeah, Charlotte's good, man. I was just looking at their record. 33-18 overall, 16-11 in conference play. Like, Charlotte's good. Charlotte's very good. They just took 2 out of 3 from Florida Atlantic. Let's see. Before that, they swept Rice. Before that, they swept Marshall. I mean, before that, they swept UAB. Good God. So, I mean, Charlotte is Charlotte's a good ball club. Charlotte's a very good ball club. So the Gamecocks, we got our work cut out for us, no doubt. We have got our work cut out for us. Let's see. Guys, we'll go ahead and jump into a break. I'd love to hear more from you all, though, on the other side in regards to playoff. Because I see Brennan M. making his little comment about Mike Leach. And Brennan, I love you. Am I wrong? Because I am. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have the perfect solution. Because I'm torn on it in the sense of I'd love to see the playoff expand. However, I don't think we were all that bad off with the BCS. I think more often than not, the BCS got it right. So that, more, guys, I want to hear from you. Questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 15 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow. We are taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Anyways, Daddy-O says, Chris, are you big game boomer? Can confirm I am not big game boomer. I can confirm that. Rebecca, what's going on? I see you're tuned in. Appreciate you. What's going on? Brendan says, Bama and Auburn, in a sense, is already a play-in game for the SEC title. It has more of a meaning than Carolina and Clemson. 4 and no more. Brendan says, go back to the BCS. Very good. Go back to the BCS, he says. Just eliminate the playoff as a whole. I don't think there's any way they go backwards. I don't think there's any way. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think they go backwards. Again, are we probably going to get the same two teams? Yes. Let's jump to the
Call
lines
from
here.
Rebecca,
what's going on? How are you?
good. I'd like to know what the hell with people here today.
Rebecca, what are you talking about?
I tried to say hello to everybody, but only one person responded.
I don't, Rebecca. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
I was wondering about it.
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I'll let the the crowd speak. I don't know.
So I've been listening to the whole thing today.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Did you hear that Robbie Davis's birthday is tomorrow?
How old is he going to be?
I think Robbie's going to be 31, if I do recall.
Happy birthday, Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be 32 in July.
Okay.
So, well, we're going to do a whole thing, birthday thing for him tomorrow.
We'll do something. He's going to the baseball game tomorrow night, so that's a big surprise. We surprise him today on the show, so maybe we'll sing him happy birthday tomorrow. I don't know.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. We'll have us a good old time, of course.
I wish I could be there to celebrate his birthday. You know?
Well, the baseball game's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Baseball game's going to be a good time.
I hope he has a good birthday. I really do.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Should be fun. Hopefully the Gamecocks can get him a W. Get us a W, but get him a win for his birthday.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when's the last baseball game?
The last home one is tomorrow night. The last regular season game is Saturday, and the next week is the SEC tournament. So it ain't over yet. I
was wondering.
Yeah. So we still got at least another week and a half or so.
I didn't know.
Yeah, we got at least another week and a half.
So how you been today?
I've been great, Rebecca. Just rocking and rolling with content, and yeah, I'm doing fantastic. So I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you asking.
I'm good over here.
That's
on this side.
great. That's great. How was your weekend?
Pretty good.
Good. Love to hear that.
I went swimming in my swimming pool.
There you go. Love that.
So I enjoyed that.
That's awesome.
Question for you.
Fire away.
Is this on a real radio station down there?
No. This is streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. This is not on the radio. No.
I was wondering.
Nope. It is not streamed on the radio. We are our own entity. We are not on any sort of radio station.
I was curious.
Somebody asked if Rebecca is a South Carolina fan, why does she live in Tennessee?
Hell, Rebecca has to live in Tennessee because she has no damn choice to live here. And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if y'all want to be really realistic here, I'm here. I live with my grandfather, okay? And I'm here to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's taking care of me.
Mm.
And if something happens to my grandfather, I'm not saying wishing death on him. I get this house that I'm living in. And that's the reason why I live in Tennessee, is because of I have family up here and stuff like that I have no choice to live in Tennessee. But if I could, I wish I could move down to South Carolina.
Mm.
But I have no choice to live here in Tennessee.
Gotcha.
So that answers everybody's question why I'm a Gamecock fan and I'm from Tennessee. Does that answer everybody's question?
I think that does answer the question, yes.
And like I said, I wouldn't wish no death on my grandfather. I cherish every moment that I have with him. You know, he's going to be 83 next month.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love him half to death. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any more questions?
No, I think somebody just says just don't start pulling for Tennessee anytime soon. So, which I know you won't.
Hell no, I ain't gonna pull for Tennessee. You wouldn't see me put a Tennessee tattoo on me. Hell no. wouldn't do that at all. I do good. If you want to be a true Gamecock fan, put you a Gamecock tattoo on you. That would tell you you're a true Gamecock fan. Because I got about 3 Gamecock tattoos on me. And I'm very proud to show them off.
If you're a real Gamecock fan, get a Gamecock tattoo. That's from Rebecca.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I love up there at Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love it.
Anyway.
I love it. Rebecca, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. Truly.
Let me guess, we reached 2 o'clock.
We're about to hit it. We're about to hit it.
All right, but I just wanted to make that clear so that everybody understands the reason why I can't move to South Carolina because of family issues.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense, Rebecca. Hey, we got a fun week in store. I appreciate you. I'm sure we'll hear from you again soon.
Right. Well, I'll let y'all go, and y'all down in South Carolina have a good day.
All right, Rebecca. You too. I appreciate it.
Right.
All right. Take care. Good stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. Hey, that's pretty much going to do it. Be sure to check out the podcast. It dropped this morning, episode 649. A full breakdown of what happened over the weekend. Also, we celebrate Gamecocks lacrosse, by the way. I did see, I believe it was Stephanie Lee commenting earlier. Gamecocks lacrosse. Congratulations to the boys. My guy, Peter Candela, the head coach of lacrosse, definitely trying to get him on the show. The club sports, man, at USC. Rugby, lacrosse, hockey. Just carrying, man. Doing the damn thing. Luke RJ on the playoff stuff says 8 teams should be the max, in my opinion. 3 games to win the national championship. 1 more game to win the playoff than now. If you're not in the top 8, you're not going to win in football. Still have bowl games. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I don't totally disagree with that, RJ. It sounds like they're probably going to go to 12. I'd be down with 8. 5 conference champions, 3 at-large bids. Go from there. Again, it's a debate that will rage on forever, it seems. Either way, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, check out the podcast that dropped this morning. Podcast, Daily Crow, all your content, rocking and rolling all week long. And also stay tuned for the Road to Glory content. Don't have anything set in stone planned, but that will be taking place at some point. We're just keeping you on your toes out here. Guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we will talk.